You can adjust the height of cut on the 652B from a 38mm 1.5 inch to 127mm 5 inch deck height using one of these following methods. A coarse adjustment of 12mm in half-inch increments. This method involves changing the mounting position of the rear motor supports and front caster wheel mounts. A fine adjustment from 1.6mm or 1/16 of an inch to 6mm or 1/4 inch in quarter-inch increments. This method involves adjusting the blade spacers and/or front caster wheel spacers and washers. And the temporary height of cut adjustment. This method involves adjusting the caster wheel spacers. To set the coarse height of cut, park the machine safely and then raise the rear of the mower, set it on jack stands. And remove the rear wheels. To do this, see Removing and Installing Rear Drive Wheels in the owner's manual. Remove the nuts and reposition the motor support assembly up or down as needed, and then install and tighten the nuts. Reinstall the rear wheels. Lower the rear wheels to the ground. Continue by lifting the front of the machine with a safe lifting device. Remove the 4 flange nuts. There are 2 on each side, and reposition the caster wheel assembly up or down as needed. Lower the front of the machine to the ground and proceed to fine height of cut adjustment if needed. You can make the fine height of cut adjustment by adjusting either at the caster wheel assembly or the blade spindles. Be sure to make the following adjustments to both sides of the machine. To adjust the caster wheel assembly, park safely and lift the front of the machine with a safe lifting device. Remove the lock pin and wheel assembly from the caster yoke. Reposition the washers and/or C-spacers above or below the caster yoke as needed. Reinstall the wheel assembly washers and/or the C-spacers and lock pin. And apply grease to the lubrication fitting. To adjust the fine height of cut at the blades and spindles, park the machine safely. Remove the mower deck drive belt shields. Lift the front of the machine with a safe lifting device. Support the blade and cap screw. Remove the hex nut by turning it counterclockwise and lower the blade, spacer washers, and washer. Remove the spacer washers at the top of the spindle. And reposition the washers as needed to obtain your desired cutting height. Each washer equals 6mm or 1/4 of an inch. Reinstall the blade, spacer washers, and washer, and install the spacer washers and hex nut at the top of the spindle. And reinstall mower deck drive belt shields. To make a temporary height of cut adjustment, park the machine safely and lift the front of the machine with a safe lifting device. Remove the lock pin, washer, and wheel assembly from the caster yoke. Reposition the C-spacers above or below the caster yoke as needed. And reinstall the wheel assembly and/or C-spacers, the washer, and lock pin.